When did your demanding sibling go from bad to worse? My brother required everyone to keep their eyes closed when speaking to him because he believed direct eye contact would drain his life force. So I had to navigate our house blind whenever he was around, or he'd lock me in the basement. Ethan had always been weird about personal connections. He wouldn't hug anyone, not even our parents. He ate meals in his room because watching people chew disgusted him. When he turned 14, he read some new age book about energy vampires and became obsessed with the idea that eye contact was how people stole each other's spiritual essence. He started wearing sunglasses indoors, then progressed to demanding everyone else look away when he entered a room. When I was 12 and he was 16, he discovered some online forum about psychic protection and decided that being looked at was literally killing him. Ethan called a family meeting to announce his new rule. No one could look directly at him anymore. We had to close our eyes when speaking to him, avert our gaze when passing in hallways, and never make eye contact even accidentally. Looking at him was stealing his soul energy. He'd printed laminated cards showing proper non-viewing protocols. Mom tried to reason with him, but Ethan screamed that she was murdering him with her eyes. He wouldn't stop until she agreed. Dad gave in immediately. They thought it was just another weird phase, but Ethan was deadly serious about protecting his spiritual essence. Living with Ethan's rule was immediately exhausting. Every interaction required careful choreography. I'd have to announce myself before entering rooms, wait for him to position himself, then navigate with my eyes shut. If I accidentally glanced at him, he'd collapse dramatically, claiming I'd drained his energy. He installed mirrors at angles so he could see us without us seeing him. Our parents enabled it completely, teaching themselves to cook and clean with closed eyes whenever he was present. It's just better than the drama, my mom said, as if this wasn't its own kind of unbearable drama. And if I ever slipped up or flat out refused to comply, the punishment was swift. He started demanding energy repayment through bizarre rituals. One accidental glance meant sitting in a circle of salt while he chanted for hours. He installed motion sensors that screamed when someone entered his space without their eyes closed. 3 viewings in one day meant being locked in the coat closet until you'd written essays about respecting bodily autonomy. He'd test us constantly, jumping out to see if we'd instinctively look at him. It infected every aspect of my life. Friends stopped coming over because he'd accused them of psychic assault for looking at him. He got teachers to let him sit facing the wall, claiming forward-facing seats exposed him to energy theft. Every interaction became a blindfolded performance where one reflexive glance meant hours of punishment. When I was in 10th grade, I started dating Noah and decided I wasn't going to let Ethan corrupt this one normal thing. At Noah's house, I could see freely, and it felt like escaping prison. When Noah came to dinner, I warned him about the rules, but muscle memory is hard to break. He glanced at Ethan while passing the potatoes. The explosion was instant. Ethan clutched his chest, screaming about his life force draining while Noah stared in shock. I grabbed Noah and left, telling Ethan I was done with his insane demands. For 2 weeks, I looked at Ethan every chance I got. Direct stares during breakfast, eye contact in hallways. He'd shriek about soul murder, collapse on the floor, demand energy repayments, but I kept looking. I thought if I held firm, he'd realize how ridiculous this was. Our parents begged me to comply, but I refused. I was done stumbling blind through my own home. Ethan lost his mind when I kept making eye contact. He started wearing a helmet with curtains, carrying a fog machine to obscure himself. He convinced our parents I was deliberately trying to kill him with my gaze. They started punishing me for his meltdowns, taking my phone when I looked at him, grounding me for accidental glances. Meanwhile, he escalated to physical barriers. He built elaborate blinds and screens, turning our house into a maze where seeing him was impossible. He installed cameras to catch me looking at him, creating compilation videos of my attacks with dramatic music. He made our parents put locks on my eyelids while I slept so I couldn't steal his energy unconsciously. He hired other energy believers to follow me, ensuring I never looked in his direction. When that wasn't enough, he started wearing mirrors on his clothes, claiming if I saw his reflection, I'd see myself stealing his soul and feel guilty enough to stop. Then our parents went out of town for a week, leaving me and Ethan alone, and it turned out this was the opportunity he'd been waiting for. He barricaded me in my room and explained he had a solution for my ongoing disobedience. He'd researched medieval punishments for witches who stole souls through evil eyes. He'd found the answer in an old text about preventing future sight crimes. You just remove the person's eyes. As he explained the procedure, calmly smiling with his eyes on my floor, I realized how completely screwed I was. He was bigger than me, stronger than me, and had me completely trapped, and he was going to remove my eyes. He was done trying to change my behavior. He was planning to make sure I could never look at anyone again. Full story on the channel below.